What's up guys, Brad back on the channel with a brand new video. Today I thought I'd sort of review the season so far. I did sort of a part one of this, which was going to be a two-parter. Now it's going to be a three-parter, so I'm going to do it now, and then after all this stuff goes back to normal, we'll do another one and see where we stand, of course. But I'm going to be reviewing the season so far because it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing another Huddersfield Town game anytime soon. And anything to do with football really, apart from living in Birmingham fans head rent free, there's not been really much going on for me as and football in general. So yeah, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Proud day for Huddersfield that, but yeah, I thought I'd just go over the season and you know, talk about some key points. It's going to be a bit of a longer video, a bit more unedited than the usual ones, so just watch for as long as you want and can, of course. But yeah, I'm going to be talking about key players that we need to keep, players that we need to let go really, how to free up some of the wage bill, and what we can probably expect for next year. And I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. I don't exactly believe we're going to be spending big, but we'll just have to wait and see. So first things first, I think overall we've had a pretty good season. To say we were last for so long, that win against Stoke through Juninho Bakuna's goal and then the win against Hull, it put us on the right track. And you know, since Carly come in, he's sort of implemented his 4-2-3-1 style, a bit similar to Wagner, just but a bit more sort of, I don't know, we don't seem as good as that team, but we do seem capable of getting results. And there's two players for me that have done that, and without these two players we would be nowhere, and that's Lewis O'Brien and Karlan Grant. Without those two players we'd have been a hopeless team, and we'd have plummeted down to League One, and you know, parachute payment's gone, so it's down to them two really. Karlan has been rumoured to possibly go to Aston Villa or West Brom for a fee of £15 million come the end of the year. I think that's a rip-off, to be fair. But it won't be the first time, with Moy only going for 5 or 10, whatever it was. I would have expected at least 25 for Aaron Moy. Don't care how old he is, he's a class player, and I thought he'd walk into any team apart from City, Chelsea or Liverpool. So, but we'll probably sell him short of what he's worth. Karlan's 22, and for a player of his quality, I'd be expecting again 25 million, but we probably won't get that. Same with Lewis O'Brien, who's been linked to go to Sheffield United, a team that could be playing in Champions League next year. So if Lewis leaves, it's, you know, it's no disrespect to him. If I was a football player, I'd do the same. Anyone would. Like, you're gonna obviously leave a team struggling in the Championship to go to a team in a European competition, the best European competition. So I can't really fault him for that. Even so, he'd still be going to a Premier League side that's currently sat in 6th or 5th. So even without the European competition, there should be no debate in the matter. He should be going to Sheffield United. But hopefully they pull out the deal and they don't want to, you know, make a bid or anything, and then that's us sort of saved. And hopefully we don't accept a low bid, because he's definitely one for the future. He'll be playing Premier League football soon. Hopefully it can be with us if we get back there in a couple of years. I don't see it, but we can be hopeful. We dreamed before, we can dream again. So yeah, those two key players have been everything for us really this season. Without those two players, the system wouldn't have worked, and we wouldn't have got points really. We'd been relegation zone definitely. And like I said, I think we've done pretty good to say that, you know, we were last and now like 17th, 18th. So to say that we've come so far as a team, like 8 places doesn't look a lot, but as a Town fan, you sort of respect and sort of look at the process as a positive thing. And I'm not really a positive fan, to be fair. I'm more often than not a negative fan because of the past 2 years we've had as Town fans, but because they could have been avoided. We could have done things differently to avoid relegation and this year, but we just shoot ourselves in the foot constantly. And apparently Hoyle's owed like 30 million or something for the club, and we're not going to spend out in the summer, and it's just really demoralising, demotivating, because as fans we want to go into a window hoping that we're going to spend some money, and it's rare that we ever do, and if we do, it's a waste. Like, we must scout someone. We'll scout someone big, and then we'll go for the fourth choice, and then when they end up being terrible, we look at ourselves like, oh, what's gone wrong? It's very clear. When we look at Carbian and Benza, they're probably on like 25 grand a week, and they need to go really, because they're not really going to help us. Right, I was discussing with people on social media, I miss Raji Vellapara as a player. We could do with him back. I don't know how people could dislike him. He did a bit too much when he was running, but would you rather a player did too much or not enough? So I think Raji Vellapara would be a good signing. His contract, I think, has recently been terminated at Red Star Belgrade. He left for a fair reason. He didn't want to play for us anymore, because as a team we was going nowhere and we didn't have a manager at the time, which you can sort of respect. But we need, I'd say we need another winger, because Willock probably won't sign realistically, and Smith Rowe definitely won't sign, so we need a winger and a cam. I've absolutely no idea who we could get. Like I say, Raji Vellapara would be a decent signing. I'd even give Sobby a go. I don't know why so many people hate Sobby as like a player. He come on against Watford when we were 3-0 down. He come on against City when we were like 5-1 down, and he actually changed the game a bit. He was like making runs, and he's actually decent on the ball. But just because Wagner said he wasn't ready, and everyone thinks he's bad, he's actually a good player. He's much better than Carbian and Benza. I reckon we give him a go. Like, if he takes a pay cut, I reckon we give him a go. If he's not happy with the money, then you can go over to Egypt or Saudi Arabia or whatever league he's in and play there if he wants more money. But if he wants to play in the Championship for us, then we may as well give him a shot. It's worth a go instead of signing a brand new winger. I'd give Quanner a go, to be fair, because why not? But I reckon he'll be going. I reckon Kachunga probably will go at the end of season. There'll be a few players that are gone end of season. Some that we don't want to see go. Mostly it'll be players we don't want to see go, and then we'll bring in someone on the cheap probably. I might be thinking negative, but we always seem to bring people in on the cheap, and we only got lucky with it really once with Grant and Toffolo. But I think Cowley knows what they need and what we need as a team, but it's whether the board will back them and give them the money they need to get the players they need, or whether we'll have to settle for second best or third, fourth best as always. It's sort of a reoccurring thing for us. I'm hopeful for next season. I'm hopeful for when all this stuff's done and dusted, and can go out and function and go. And I'll go to so many more town games. And we're only going to be going to Reading Wednesday and Millwall out of the remainder games. If the season started again tomorrow, I'd be going to all of them in a heartbeat, because we took football for granted way too much, and it's just a bit awful at the moment that we don't get to go and watch town. But I'm hopeful for next season that the Cowleys can, sort of pinpoint what we need, and they can get what we need, and hopefully then we can sort of go for a mid-table finish, or if they feel ambitious, go higher. But I'd like to be getting, with the next Premier League team, I'd like to be going middle. I'd like to be going up really, up the table. I mean, not up to the Premier League, because I doubt that'll happen. But if it does, I wouldn't exactly refuse it. I just think we've took 2 steps back, and we just need to take a bit of a leap forward. To be fair, otherwise we're just not going to get anywhere. We still haven't replaced Moy as well. Moy was the playmaker in the team. We don't have a playmaker like O'Brien. He's more of a box-to-box midfielder. He's more of a tackler. He's good on the ball, but he's just not Moy. He's just not the class of Moy in terms of playmaking ability. Don't get me wrong, Lewis O'Brien is probably by far our best all-rounded player, but we need someone with the playmaking sort of thing. We need like a Tom Kearney or like a midfielder that can just change the way that the game a bit, like, I don't know. A bit like a Moy, or like a Tom Kearney, like I say, or like a Barry Bannon or something. But we need to make the right signings in the summer, or whenever the season lets us, or whenever the FA lets us. But I'm hopeful, but I'm only going to be hopeful. I'm not going to hold my breath. I think Grant will go. If I had to pick one out of the two, out of O'Brien and Grant, I think Grant will go because he's the goal scorer, which will leave us with Mounier, which isn't a bad thing because fans have recently realised that you give Mounier the ball and he scores, which is such a magical thing, and that I don't know why people didn't realise it. He was a good striker, we just never serviced him, and with them Benza and Diakabi on the wings, you're not going to get great service, are you? So we need to get some wingers who can put good crosses in. If we got Emile Smith-Rowe on another 6-month loan, that'd be brilliant, but I just don't see it happening. But yeah, like I say, we've made a good thing out of a bad situation, or the Cowies have anyway. The only thing that sort of puts me on a bit of puts me into a bit of a bad mood sometimes is when we go to a game like Swansea away, we've travelled 5 hours down whatever motorway it was, and then Smith-Rowe and Mounier not starting, and it's like, okay, but I don't mind Campbell starting, because Campbell's a good striker in my opinion. I think he's quite underrated, because whenever Campbell plays, he does tire the defence out, he gets them moving, but it's like, especially when Smith-Rowe's not playing and when Willock's not playing, it's like, what are you doing? Like, come on, like, these are our best players and they're not playing, and it's just so infuriating. But I trust Cowies, and they've done good stuff with our club so far, and I think it's not long until we can start moving forward again as a club, hopefully anyways. But like I say, I think it's important that we free up the wage bill, and we sort of get rid of the deadwood, as you would call it. I think that's the best way we can sort of move forward. And as soon as that's done, we can look in the market and see what's available and what would suit us, of course. But yeah, I really miss football. I really miss the atmosphere, and I hope the ground's bouncing when we get back. But yeah, that's all from me in today's video. I just thought I'd sort of say what I think of the season so far. I'm not going to go on for half an hour like I did in the other one, because I covered the first half of the season in that video, and I explained that in more detail, and I just thought this one would be a bit of a shorter video explaining my thoughts on the season so far. And this is more like the thoughts on the first half of the second half of the season, if that makes sense, like the third quarter of the season. But yeah, massive thanks as always. Really appreciating the number of subscribers is going up day by day, and the views. I appreciate everything, and all the nice comments that I get. I really do appreciate that a lot, especially in this frustrating time. It's hard to stay happy and bored. I can't begin to imagine how some people are being affected mentally, of course, without being able to do normal day-to-day stuff. And yeah, I hope those people are safe and all that. I hope everyone's safe, of course, but I just can't begin to imagine how some people are feeling right now, and it's not nice, of course. But yeah, don't want to depress the mood too much. But yeah, massive thanks as always. Go hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like the video if you did enjoy it and you agree with what I say. Comment down below anything you agree with, anything you think we should sign, anyone you think we should sign. What, we're going to sign a clipboard on a 5-year deal? Anyone you think we should sign, and anyone you think we should let go, etc, etc. Anything you put in the comments, probably reply to. So yeah, take it easy, stay safe, follow the government guidelines. Look forward to when football back in about 900 million months time. I'll see you in the next one.